One dam failure may have killed more people than either atomic bomb dropped on Japan. In 1975, a disaster in China grew into a chain reaction that swallowed towns, destroyed millions of homes, and left an estimated 171,000 people dead. So how did one dam become one of the deadliest engineering disasters in human history? The place was Henan Province in central China. The structure was the Banqiao Dam. It was built across the Ru River to control floods and store water. Think of a dam like a giant bathtub wall. As long as the wall stays strong and the drain handles the incoming water, everything works. But in August 1975, someone effectively turned on a fire hose and aimed it straight at the bathtub. That fire hose was Typhoon Nina. It pushed an extraordinary amount of rain into the region. Over several days, some areas received well over a meter of rain. One measurement recorded a 5-day total of 1,631 millimeters. The problem was no longer simply keeping water behind a dam, it was figuring out what happened when the entire system filled faster than anyone could empty it. Banqiao had spillways designed to release excess water. They were basically the dam's emergency overflow valves. But the rain arrived so fast that water entering the reservoir overwhelmed what could safely leave. Imagine pouring a bucket into a kitchen sink while the drain is only wide enough for a drinking straw. You can already see what was coming. Then came another problem. Banqiao was not standing alone. The region contained a network of reservoirs and dams. Extreme rainfall hammered the entire area. Several structures came under pressure at the same time. It was less like one domino wobbling. It was more like an entire table of dominoes starting to tip together. On the night of August 8th, Banqiao finally failed. Water tore through the dam and rushed downstream at a peak discharge estimated at roughly 78,000 cubic meters every second. That is not a river gently overflowing its banks. It is a moving landscape. Picture an entire reservoir suddenly deciding it no longer wants to be a lake. A massive flood wave raced through communities below. It hit people in darkness with little time to escape. Houses, roads, fields, and communication lines vanished beneath the water. Things that normally define where you can go and how you survive were simply gone. And here is the fact that changes the whole story. Banqiao was not the only dam to collapse. In total, Banqiao and dozens of other dams failed during the disaster. One engineering study counts 2 large dams, 2 medium dams, and 58 small dams lost to the storm. What looked like one structural failure had become a cascading regional catastrophe. Think of it like electrical breakers, failing one after another during a power surge. The first failure sends extra stress into the next part of the system. Then that part fails too. Suddenly, the disaster becomes much larger than the original trigger. Except here, instead of electricity jumping through wires, billions of tons of water were moving through populated countryside. Tens of thousands died in the immediate flooding. But the flood itself was only the first phase. Millions of people became stranded or displaced. Food supplies, clean water, transportation, and medical care collapsed across the affected region. The disaster had destroyed more than buildings. It had destroyed the systems people needed to stay alive afterward. That is why you will see wildly different death tolls for Banqiao. Estimates range from roughly 26,000 direct deaths to totals well above 100,000 when later deaths from disease and hunger are included. Some estimates rise as high as 240,000. The often cited figure of about 171,000 is horrifying, because many of those people may not have died when the dam first broke. And that is the real answer to our opening question. Banqiao became so deadly because multiple failures stacked on top of each other. Extreme rainfall overwhelmed vulnerable infrastructure. Cascading dam failures destroyed communities and communications. Then the humanitarian crisis made everything worse. The disaster was not one event, it was a machine for creating the next disaster. That also explains the comparison with the atomic bombings. The commonly cited Banqiao estimate of around 171,000 deaths exceeds widely cited individual death estimates for either Hiroshima or Nagasaki, although Banqiao's exact total remains disputed. The shocking part is that a catastrophe on that scale can exist in history without becoming a household name. Part of the reason is that information about the disaster remained extremely limited for years. Fuller accounts only emerged much later. Famous 20th century disasters entered textbooks and documentaries around the world. Banqiao largely disappeared behind political isolation, incomplete records, and silence. How many disasters feel small to us simply because their stories never escaped? Banqiao teaches us something uncomfortable about engineering. The strongest-looking structure is only one piece of the safety system. Forecasts matter, communications matter, emergency planning matters. And when several protective systems depend on each other, one extreme event can reveal weaknesses nobody notices during ordinary days. That is the mind-bending part. Civilization often protects itself with layers, but those layers can also fail together. A dam, a power grid, a levee, and a communications network can look completely separate. Then the same disaster hits them all at once. The biggest danger may not be the thing that breaks first. It may be everything that breaks next. The Banqiao disaster was not simply a dam bursting, it was a chain reaction. Water overwhelmed infrastructure. Infrastructure failure overwhelmed communities. The aftermath multiplied the death toll. And the next time you see a massive wall holding back a quiet reservoir, remember this. The most important question is not whether that wall can fail. It is what happens if everything behind it fails too. Subscribe now, because the next mystery is even stranger.